As Donald Trump declared he had secured a ceasefire in Gaza, the Israeli military confirmed launching another airstrike in Gaza City's Sabra neighborhood last night. The Israeli Defense Forces said the strike targeted a Hamas cell operating near Israeli troops and posing an immediate threat. The Hamas-run Gaza Civil Defense Agency reported that the attack caused a building to collapse, trapping roughly 40 people beneath the rubble. 4 bodies had been recovered so far, it said. The announcement of renewed violence came just as Israel and Hamas signed an agreement to halt fighting and exchange hostages for prisoners, marking the first phase of Donald Trump's self-described peace initiative, aimed at ending the 2-year war that has devastated Gaza and destabilized the region. For both Israelis and Palestinians, the deal offered a rare moment of celebration after a prolonged conflict that has claimed more than 67,000 Palestinian lives and left much of Gaza in ruins. The agreement also promises the release of the remaining Israeli hostages taken during the Hamas-led attacks that ignited the war in October 2023. Hamas leader Khalil al-Hayya, speaking from exile, said he had received assurances from US and regional mediators that the war is over. Israeli officials, meanwhile, were preparing to ratify the agreement, which calls for a cessation of hostilities, a partial Israeli withdrawal from Gaza, and the release of hostages in exchange for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. At a White House press event, Trump celebrated the accord, saying it would lead to lasting peace. He announced that fleets of aid trucks would be permitted to enter Gaza, bringing food, medicine and shelter materials to civilians displaced by months of bombardment. No one should have to live in rubble, Trump said. In the months leading to the current deal, Trump had talked of plans to turn the territory into the Riviera of the Middle East. Today, Trump appeared to walk back any such idea, telling reporters, "Nobody's going to be forced to leave. No, it's just the opposite. This is a great plan. This is a great peace plan. This is a plan that was supported by everybody." Despite the announcement, numerous obstacles remain. Palestinian officials noted that the list of prisoners to be released was still under negotiation. Hamas is reportedly demanding the inclusion of high-profile detainees and hundreds of Palestinians arrested during Israel's offensive. Further stages of Trump's proposed 20-point peace plan, such as determining who will govern Gaza after the war and how Hamas's future will be handled, remain unresolved. Israel has insisted that Hamas must disarm and relinquish control, demands the group has rejected. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu faces dissent within his own governing coalition. Far-right National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir had threatened to bring down the government if Hamas is not dismantled, while Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich said he would oppose any agreement that leaves the group intact. Hamas must be destroyed once the hostages return, he said. On the ground, the reaction to news of a potential end to the fighting was a mix of jubilation and disbelief. In Tel Aviv, relatives of hostages gathered in Hostages Square, where families have campaigned for months, burst into cheers as news spread. Even as anticipation built, violence had not fully stopped. The Gaza Health Ministry reported that 3 Palestinians were killed by Israeli fire today, in addition to 9 dead yesterday, a significant drop compared to the previous weeks, but a reminder that the ceasefire was not yet in effect. Residents reported seeing Israeli troops dismantling some positions in central Gaza and firing smoke grenades typically used to cover troop movements. Witnesses interpreted the activity as preparation for a limited withdrawal. According to Israeli officials, the ceasefire will take effect within 24 hours of the government's formal approval. Within 72 hours of that, Hamas is expected to release the remaining Israeli hostages. Of the captives believed to have been taken to Gaza, 20 are thought to be alive, 26 are presumed dead, and 2 remain unaccounted for. Hamas has indicated that returning the bodies of the deceased could take longer than freeing the living. Trump said he planned to travel to the region to attend a formal signing ceremony in Egypt and to address the Israeli Knesset. This is just the beginning, he told reporters, framing the deal as the foundation for a broader Middle East reconciliation effort. The ceasefire agreement has drawn support from both Western and Arab nations, with France hosting a conference in Paris to discuss a potential peacekeeping force and post-war reconstruction aid for Gaza. Netanyahu hailed the agreement as a diplomatic success and a moral victory for Israel, while Trump's allies called it an historic breakthrough. If fully implemented, the deal would mark the closest the two sides have come to ending a conflict that has not only ravaged Gaza, but has also drawn in regional actors, including Iran-backed militias in Lebanon and Yemen. The war's spillover effects have isolated Israel diplomatically and strained its ties with key allies. Critics, however, warn that the ceasefire's success will depend on political will, both in Jerusalem and within Hamas's fragmented leadership. The details are what make or break these deals, one UN diplomat said. Without a credible post-war plan, Gaza risks sliding into chaos again. Whether the latest agreement truly signals the end of the war or merely a pause remains to be seen. For now, Gazans are clinging to a fragile sense of relief after 2 years of relentless bombardment, while Israelis hope the final hostages will soon return home. For Donald Trump, the deal represents a potential political victory amid criticism of his foreign policy record. If the ceasefire holds, it could become one of his most significant diplomatic achievements, a moment of calm, however temporary, in a region long defined by endless conflict. Trump was asked today about his chances of winning the Nobel Peace Prize, which is awarded tomorrow. The US president falsely claimed he had solved 8 wars in less than a year, but added he did not do it to win the prize. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5-Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with Midas Touch.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.